Greetings everyone. Today I'm going to present analog planetary research as a future multidisciplinary research in Nepalese Space Research Association, also called as NESRA. I'm Anamol Mittal. I'm currently serving as the president of this organization and I'm working as a aerospace engineer in Italy. And moving on with the presentation, let me give you an outline of our work. First, we'll present you the background and what work has been done until now in Nepal for analog planetary research and the research gap existing in Nepal, and what is an analog planetary research, what are the types of planetary research, and what is the feasibility and why is it important to Nepal, and what are the roles and initiatives taken by NESRA. And I'll be talking more about the results and the conclusion of our research. So Nepal is in its very early stage in space research and development. Nepal doesn't really have a space industry yet. There are a few companies working in the space sector. We have launched one satellite, Nepali Sat 1, and it's a CubeSat launched by Nepalese government with collaboration with the Japanese Educational Institute and an organization in USA, Mars Academy USA, conducted 5 days medical analog mission in Nepal in 2019, which is possibly the first APR in the history of Nepal. So Nepal has still a very premature space industry which is still budding. So we need to um, promote to have more space activities in the country. What is the research gap? There hasn't been any significant effort to study about analog planetary research in Nepal and why Nepal could serve as a destination for these missions. So there is a gap in development of exospace instruments due to lack of proper research and testing ground, and we also lack government plans, policies, and subsidies to promote space-related research and activities within the country. So what is APR? What is analog planetary research? It's the development and testing of strategies including scientific, technical, operational, social, and medical aspects in simulated space or planetary environments for the application of crewed and robotics space exploration missions. So basically, analog planetary research is testing of space-based technologies um, to mitigate the risk in a space mission. So, especially the ones which involve human life at risk. It also includes it is also used to test space robotics equipments which will accompany astronauts to space missions, spacesuits and space habitat designs, bioregenerative life support systems, and etc. Let me talk about types of analog planetary research. There are two types of APR. The first one being analog astronaut training, and the second one being focused towards hardware testing. Astronaut training prepares astronauts physically and mentally to deal with the harsh requirements of space. Astronauts have to live in confined spaces for prolonged periods of time, which brings in many challenges for astronauts. So we need to prepare them before actually sending them out to space. And spacecraft flight simulator training, geographical training, transverse planning training, and underwater training are the different types of astronaut trainings which have been performed in the past. Hardware testing includes the testing of the equipment for astronauts and partial of the entire spacecraft testing. What is the feasibility and importance of APR to Nepal? The feasibility, why is it relevant to Nepal? So let's talk about the geographical conditions which Nepal has and which is also advantage to analog planetary research. The low pressure, low temperature, and high altitude, high aridity, and high UV radiation makes Mustang Basin one of the most similar places on Earth to Mars. The Himalayas are an analog to the active polar gullies on Mars, which with compared signature glacier minerality and fault-related landforms and geomorphic topography. So Nepal is very similar to outer space destinations in terms of geography and in terms of low pressure, low temperature, high altitude. So the feasibility, let's talk about the importance. Why is APR important to Nepal? Developing a research hub for students and researchers studying within Nepal which will help to empower and encourage youth for development projects and research work. So APR is needed as a teaching and learning facility for industrial training and courses, and to build up assets for future space development activities and manpower within Nepal. It can also be used to attract researchers and industries outside Nepal to test their technologies and human behavior in a wide range of environments like never before within the same country. Given the diverse range of elevations Nepal has, we can test a lot of equipments in Nepal itself without having to move out of the country. And people from outside the space sector can get an idea of what living in space is like through these analog planetary research bases. And we can by having an APR in Nepal, we can build Nepal as a hub for pre-space flight testing for astronauts around the globe by developing a framework for analog astronaut setup to carry various research aiding human settlement in space. Let's talk about relevance of analog planetary research to other disciplines. Although APR is in aerospace research, it does touch other disciplines such as mechanical engineering, computer science and engineering, agriculture, medical sciences, architecture, geology sciences. So as you can see, it has various aspects to it. We can test rovers, water extraction units, we can test connectivity systems, we can have regenerative life support system, and we can test these units, and we can also do medical research and design better architecture for these kind of environments, and we can research on structure and geology of outer space. So what are the roles and initiatives by NESRA to fill this gap? So we are participating in the Moon Village Association's initiative. It's called Participation of Emerging Space Countries. So in this initiative, we are developing a roadmap for Nepal to participate in the International Moon Village concept, and how Nepal can contribute to this international initiative. And there also has been research based on analog missions and submission of related papers in various national and international platforms. We also invite speakers from all around the world to speak on the importance of APR and educate the audience about the same. So two of these webinars are scheduled for the month of February 2021. That's next month. So we also organize National Space Meet of Nepal to promote the space sector in Nepal, and we have been organizing this since 2018. So we organized it in 2018 and 2019, where we invited speakers from all around the world to speak on various topics related to the space sector, including analog planetary research. You can find more information on nesra.co. So what are the results? NESRA is a research organization which is promoting the space sector. It is a platform and opportunity for research and academic activities for researchers of multidisciplinary fields to come together and work for a common cause. Northern Nepal has lunar and Martian-like environment suitable for APR study. State-of-art APR center can be developed in one of the suitable places to use the benefit of the diversity of Nepal. Analog Planetary Research Center at NESRA can facilitate universities, academic and research institutions to engage in analog missions and participate in the space sector. There are several challenges due to lack of APR, and we cannot have aerospace research in Nepal. We are not using Nepal's unique geographical features to our advantage, and APR can also facilitate the economy of Nepal due to various international opportunities it brings along. Analog planetary research can facilitate the growth of space industry in Nepal. The research at APRC will lay foundation for commercial application and testing of different space equipments made in Nepal and abroad. The engagement of researchers in APR can produce skilled manpower in the field of space sector and help us actively participate in the growing space industry. And with that, thank you. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at nesra.space@gmail.com, and I'll be happy to take any questions. Thank you.